I am sandwiched into this thing today. All right. I'm rolling with bags on the front and the back today. Okay, here we go. And like a dirty ass helmet. Heading to work tonight. Vlogging in general on the bike has been really hard, mostly because of working out at the gym every day and having to bring my food with me to work every time. But all right, let's get this show on the road and get this vlog started. I wanted to talk about problem solving. I was thinking about doing a podcast on this, but I thought I'd dip my toe into the topic while on the bike with you today. I want you to be honest with yourself about whether or not you're a problem solver. And if you are, I want to tip my hat to you. And if you're not, I'm going to tell you why you need to start becoming one. Well, let's start at the beginning like everything else. Why be a problem solver? What's the advantage? Well, life is all about problems. Problems are part of life. They never go away. They never go away. But the thing is we think about problems in the wrong way. We think about problems as obstacles. We think about problems as barriers. When the truth of the matter is that problems are always opportunities. They're opportunities to learn. They're opportunities to grow. They're opportunities to improve our life, improve our minds. It's a completely bizarre way to think about it compared to how I would say a more mainstream common sense viewpoint on problems are. But I think it's the truth. So that being said, being a problem solver is a critical skill, and it's a skill that if you can get really good at it, I don't even know if it's possible to master the skill of problem solving, but if you can get good at it, it will take you places that many people cannot go. One of the mischaracterizations of being a problem solver is, well, problems get solved in my life. Okay, that doesn't necessarily, just because problems are being solved doesn't make you a problem solver. You got other people solving problems for you. I have a problem and I don't want to solve it, so I ask someone else to solve it for me. And that's not problem solving. That's, if anything, we'll call that problem delegation. And delegating your problems to other people does not make you a problem solver. It just makes you lazy. And it's tough, man. I mean, problems are hard, right? You know, it's not easy. I get it. But, you know, you're never going to learn to solve problems unless you actually start solving problems. So, what's the benefit to doing this? Major benefit is independence. And that spawns into a whole long-reaching group of areas where it gives you confidence, it gives you competence. I mean, it's an incredible skill to have because it's really not all that prevalent. A lot of people are complacent. When I say problems, I mean, we're talking about just about everything that you could possibly imagine you got to get done. Got to perform maintenance on the bike? That's a problem. Got to get a project done at work? That's a problem. Those are problems that need to be solved. And you don't want to be one of these people that end up in situations where they're forced to solve problems. That's never a good time. Because when you're forced to solve problems, usually that means that your solutions are really nasty compromises. You know, whether it's society, whether it's politics, I keep seeing these signs that people want other people to solve problems for them. It's a very valuable skill. So how do you get good at solving problems? Well, you start by solving them. Sometimes you gotta ask for help. I mean, I don't want anybody to get the mistaken impression that asking for help is not, that asking for help is a bad thing. Sometimes you gotta ask for help to solve your problems, but the key word there is help, not solve my problem for me. You know, and in fact, I would argue that asking for help is a pretty difficult thing to do because it requires humility. It requires a little bit of modesty. It requires admitting to yourself that you need the help and then getting the courage to ask someone for it. But like many things, that can even be taken to an extreme. You have people who get comfortable asking for help all the time. People become comfortable asking for help, and it's no longer help, it's problem delegation. But, you know, like the first time that this entered into my life was when I was 19, I was in college, and I ran into a problem where I couldn't register for my second semester courses until I saw like a counselor, essentially, like a career counselor, and they had to sign off on my class choices to make sure that I actually knew what I was doing. Well, that was the last day to register for classes because I procrastinate. I called down to the counselor's office, and I'm told, well, she's booked. You know, she's got appointments all day. And I just asked them, I said, well, if I sit outside her office, you think I could get 5 minutes? And they told me they thought so. So I needed to be taken seriously. So I put on some dress clothes. I put on a nice pair of pants and a button-up shirt and went down there. And I sat outside that office for, 2 hours waiting. And then I caught her as an appointment left. And I spent a few minutes with her and explained the situation. You know, she said, well, it sounds like you know what you're doing, so I'll go ahead and sign off on him, even though we didn't have a full appointment. That solved the problem. But I remember sitting there thinking, well, how can I solve this problem? Because nobody could solve it for me. Not my parents, not my friends, not my family, nobody. This was my baby. And so I solved it how I knew, which was to convince people and persuade them to let me do what I need to do. And ever since then, I've always had that mindset. Like, no one can solve this for me except me. I'm the only one who can do it. And that doesn't mean that I'm guilty of delegating problems. I mean, I've done it, I'm human. But by and large, man, when it comes to when it comes to solving problems, my answer is always, how do I solve this problem? And if I can't solve it, then who can help me? What tools do I need? What knowledge do I need? What experience do I need? How do I make this happen? I'm running a little late for work. Sorry, boss. In case you guys didn't know, my boss watches my YouTube channel. Hey, how do you get support for YouTube at your job? You get your boss on your YouTube channel. Just saying. Problem solved, right? Look for the areas in your life that you've got problems, and before you start trying to figure out how to delegate them to someone else, ask how you can solve that problem. But I gotta tell you, one of the major components of all of this is you gotta want to solve problems, okay? And that goes back to, you might as well make it something you enjoy. You might as well make problem solving something that you do. Like when people ask you, well, what is it that you do? I solve problems. Like, that needs to be your motto, because life is full of problems. They never go away, and they never show up in groups of like 1 or 2. Usually they show up in packs of 6 or 12, and you pay full price for all of them. So keep in mind, this is a skill that you need, because it never goes away, and it's always, and it's something that everybody has to deal with. Hey, I'm gonna scoot. Make a
as I can.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. This is kind of skimming the surface of problem solving, but I hope you understand the basic importance of it and the fact that getting good at it makes you a very, very valuable person in the lives of many people. So take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed the motovlog. And as always, we'll see you out there.